Welcome to another episode of Something in Common. I'm Nino, and this is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. He's gonna hate me for that intro.
Blackberry, bitch. You better stop that dialogue.
Literally.
Welcome back to the show, y'all. Remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Blackberry, so you can see more of these episodes and follow us on your favorite podcast app so you can get those episodes right in your app and you can tune in, rate, review, subscribe, and tell a friend so we can get more eyes on this podcast.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about body image and body dysmorphia, if you want to call it that. I know body dysmorphia is like a real medical term. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we want to say that we have body dysmorphia this episode. Do we? Do you think we do?
I wasn't even going to say I have that.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to look up the definition of body dysmorphia, even though I should have did that before we started recording.
And also, should have done this.
You know, it's a team of two, okay? Body dysmorphic disorder or body dysmorphia is a mental health condition where a person spends a lot of time worrying about the flaws in their appearance. Oh, my God. I see you, bitch.
Sweetie, do you want me to take over?
These flaws are often unnoticeable to others. People of any age can have BDD.
Do you remember when, what was her name? Tracy Ellis Ross was like, I thought her name was Sawadi.
She said Sawati.
Sawati. Okay, I'm sorry. It's because you can't read. Go.
These flaws are often unnoticeable to others. People of any age can have BDD, but it's most common in teenagers and young adults. So we're gonna talk about body image. We haven't been diagnosed with body dysmorphia, so I don't feel comfortable saying that. But we do have body dysmorphic tendencies. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll start with you. Like, how do you feel about your overall opinion?
Always want to start with me.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
How do you feel about your overall appearance physically?
There's days where I feel like on top of the world. I actually made a video. I think I didn't show it to you, but I made a video when I was in Toronto and my skin was skinning. It was glowing. I just looked amazing. Like I didn't have like a wrinkle, like my face didn't look dry or dead. And I recorded a video and I was like, I look so good. I said, usually I look ugly, but I don't look ugly. So I'm gonna give it to you bitches today. Mm-hmm. I think overall, like if I had to rate myself, like a 7.8. But I realized that what's keeping me from a 10 is not having like a big butt, but muscular build, like more muscular build. Because the guy that I was hanging out with, he had a full body mirror in his shower. Very, very beautiful shower. But that was the first time that I really got to see like a full, like myself, like naked, like in that type of setting, like with water and everything. And I was just like, you know, I'm skinny, but I have some shape. Like it didn't look bad. Like I was very like, this is kind of sexy. Like I look good still. So I think overall I have more of a positive attitude towards it. And I'm going into it with like, I have fitness goals, but I'm not beating myself up over like the way I look now. Like I'm very much like, we're happy, but we can do better.
Like I'm hot, but I'm going to get hotter. Is that how you feel?
Oh yeah. Like I'm ready to like be fully committed. This kind of goes into like adulting and us shifting our priorities. And I'm definitely more like traveling often throws off my diet. It throws off working out, which is why I tend to not end up sticking to it. Because once I build a routine, then I'm like, okay, good, I can leave. And I'm realizing that if it means taking 6 months to a year off of traveling to like actually focus on like eating right, working out, to looking the way that I want to look in my 30s and going on vacation and looking like that, I'm okay with doing it. How about you though? Because I know that you be acting like if you don't eat every second, you gonna melt away and die.
Who makes fun of people's trauma? Like, what would you do?
No, you listen.
If you know Freddie how I feel, why would you say that?
Why would you say that? The way that you're speaking to right now is wild. No, Freddie is the type of person that like, if he loses a pound, he's like, I need to get off the phone. I need to find something to eat. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, overall, I'm okay with the way I look.
Okay. Like, what would you rate it? Is that fair? Is that like an appropriate thing? Like 1 through 10?
Out of 10, I don't know. Like,
is it a positive? Like you said that you're okay, but okay doesn't feel positive. It feels like Man, it feels like a 5, like 5 out of 10.
Okay is like
It's like how you like to say sure.
sure. It's really
No.
like sure. I'm overall like okay with the way that my body looks. Like I don't feel like I felt even 2 years ago about my body. I feel better about it.
Really? Even when you were like I didn't know that you felt bad about it the way that you were before.
Oh, I feel awful about it a lot of times.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't have a bad body though.
To you.
Like you had abs. Ooh, good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Body image
Body
is
image
not
is
about the
yeah.
way that other people view you. It's how we view ourselves.
Yeah. Having abs has never been like a goal of mine. Like even when I had abs, it was like, oh cool, I have abs.
Oh, so you don't work for them? To be fair, I don't have to do much either. My body.
Yeah,
will
when
change.
you don't have like extra things going on, it's like abs can come easy.
Extra.
But you know, I can do ab workouts. I really like at the gym. I like the crunch machine. You just like pull it down. It's the easiest way for me to do it. Or like the ab roller. I don't know what you call it. I like those. But so physically, I think my body is okay. It's presentable. But like mentally, like I feel like I'm still 115 pounds. Like
That's
I
a
was
dream.
when I was. That's your dream,
That's good.
right? So like when I was like, from the time I was in like 8th grade until like I was about like 22, 23, I was like 115, 120 pounds.
Wow.
Max. And then there came a time when I started gaining a little weight when I was like turning like mid 20s. And then I like put more effort into it. And so I'm still working on that. So our body goals are different. Like I want to gain weight, I want to be bigger, and you want to be slim.
I want to stay slim, but
Be
muscular. Yeah. Like I want like my waist to feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, I feel like you want to be bulky. Like you want to look like you got out of jail.
Yeah, I want to look like I eat and work out.
Yeah, I want to look like because I walk sometimes, I'm built.
Yeah.
I really don't really, I know like, yeah, I just, yeah, I want to, you know what I want to look like.
How did you feel about your appearance as a child?
I didn't really think too much about it. I remember when I was a kid though, I always wanted to have big teeth. Do you remember like seeing those kids on TV who had big teeth?
No.
Like they were like in that preteen, like, you know, when like your baby teeth fall out and then you get like those adult, like your adult teeth come in.
I never had that thought.
Oh, I remember wanting big teeth when I was a kid.
But
But body image, I never had. Like everyone always was like, "Oh, you're so handsome, you're a cute kid," and like I always got that, so I didn't really think anything.
And I got the opposite. I was like, it was always
You'd be
like,
like, "You're an ugly baby."
I actually have no pictures of me when I was a baby or like a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea what I look like. But I got teased a lot for being like skinny and dark skinned. So it was always like, you know, I got the African booty scratcher jokes. I got the burnt hot dog jokes.
I didn't even know what those. I never heard those.
Oh yes.
Jeez.
The dark skinned girlies know exactly what those are. And I got
this is fitting me with my head. Body image. You see, like I'm looking at the monitor right now, and I'm
don't
like,
do that. Look at me.
I know, but it's like it just feels so like off. But go. It's because you guys can't see. Well, if I go like this, then you can see me. But I want to see me too. But see, this view is cute. Okay, I'm sorry.
Issues. And I also got a lot like of skinny jokes. So I never felt confident about being skinny. It was always a negative thing. So obviously I think that got to me, and I never wanted to be skinny. So I just always like, it was always a thing. And I could never, and I'm what they call a hard gainer. So my metabolism is really high. So no matter how much I eat, unless I'm eating way more than I need to, it's just gonna burn right back off.
Okay, so this is interesting because what I want to ask you is not inappropriate, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
You said it is or it isn't?
It isn't. I mean, I don't think it is. Okay, so obviously getting comments like you're skinny and this, like it's not triggered you, but motivated you to not necessarily pick up anything unhealthy, but to make a change of something that you were told something about. So 2-part question. One of them being, had those comments not been made, do you think that you would have been comfortable being skinny? And 2, why they've made comments about your skin tone. Why haven't you done anything to change your skin tone? I don't think that. I don't know if they heard
that. Me or you?
That was me.
Okay, so we're both starving. The mic probably definitely picked that up.
We're talking about body image. We're just hard workers, okay?
I haven't eaten in 7 days.
Right. Not that I'm saying that you should change anything about your skin tone, but why haven't you? Because people have said something about you being skinny, you're making a change. Why haven't you made a change about the skin tone? And had comments not been made to you about being skinny, would you be comfortable being skinny?
So in regards to the skin tone, I had to learn to love my skin tone.
How did you do that?
I don't know. I just had to get over it.
Well, how did you get over it? You're just like, oh,
whatever.
I don't care.
I was just like, I don't know. I think I don't know what the click was, but it was just like, I'm fine with being dark skinned. I actually think I would look terrible if I was light skinned.
I'm like, you made me like wonder
like,
what you
look
would
at me like as a light skinned person, you would be like, that's a funny looking light skinned brother, you know?
That's interesting. You don't have dark skin features though. Like, or
I
like,
don't have like black features.
Yeah, like you have,
I have like a very white nose.
Like you just have lips. That's it.
Yeah. But so, I mean, I don't know. The skin thing, I wish I wish the weight thing had just like evolved like the skin thing where I was just like, whatever, I'm skinny. It is what it is. But with the weight thing, I think the comments affected it. And had they not been made, I probably would not have thought it as much. But I also have always been more interested in not being skinny. I don't know. Like, because even back in the day, when baggy clothes were in, and I know they're coming back to haunt us. I used to wear baggy clothes to like hide the fact that I was skinny. Not just because it was in style. I was like, oh, I just need to do this to cover myself up. Then looking back on some of that stuff, it's like so stupid. But I don't know. Probably if they hadn't been made, I probably would be fine with being skinny.
Yeah.
And I'm attracted to skinny people. I think skinny people are lovely.
Thank you.
I think your body is great, and that has nothing to do with your self-image. That's just the way I view you and other people who are skinny. But it's
like, I will say this, because I'm skinny, like I do have shape, and I think that's the only reason why I actually didn't get the comments that you got when you were younger. Like, it's not until my adulthood that I've been getting like, oh, you're skinny, and I'm just like, okay, and you're big. Like, let's not talk about it. But
that's that scene from Housewives. She was like, I got room to grow to be your size one day.
I didn't get comments like that till then, but like I also like, I think sometimes when we think of like a skinny guy, we think of just like, there's no titties, like you can't see my titties here, but like they're like, you know, there's some shape there, like, you know, like I have like, like I'm a training bra. But I think if I didn't have the shape that I did have, then I would probably feel a little bit more uncomfortable being skinny, which is why I'm like, okay, I like the shape and the size that I am now, but I want to build more muscle on top of what I have without changing too much where it's like noticeable, where like you go from like, oh, I used to be so skinny, like you look good, like you gained weight, you know what I mean? But like, I just want to put on more healthier muscle.
I think there's a fine line between like just wanting to make physical improvements and that not being like a self-esteem thing. It's just like, oh, I just want to change the way I look, versus like kind of the thing that I fight with, which is like, I want to make these improvements, but as I make these improvements mentally, I still look in the mirror and I see something totally different. Do you have that?
I think we all do. I think there's times where I wish like I could take the mirror with me and be like, this is not what I look like. Look at this mirror. I wish I could do that. Yeah. I mean, I know sometimes people will go through like breakups and like get a revenge body or something like that. I've never had that type of motivation. No, because I'm like, if you got me when I look like this, then you still gonna want me when I look the same way. So I've never really. And also, no one ever really gives me that type of motivation. It has to come from myself. I'm like I can't operate out of spite. So like, if anyone ever does something to me, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to work hard just so that I can do this. Like,
For me, after like a heartbreak of any sort, I'm like, if anything, I can't eat anything, and then I lose the weight.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, you talked about the mirror things. Like when I look in the mirror, I still see myself as like 130 pounds max, and I'm like pushing like 175 right now.
Wow.
My goal is to be like much larger, but here's the thing. Like when I was like 115 pounds, I just wanted to be like 125 so bad. I got the 125. I was like, not enough. Okay. After 125, I was like, okay, 140. I got the 140 and I was feeling myself. 140 was great, to be honest. I'm
in the 140s right now.
My butt had a little cup on it. You know what
I told you, you see, 140 is a good number.
140 is a good number for our heights. I'm like 5'9". You're like 5'9". Proportionate.
Yeah.
Once I got to 140, I was like, okay, maybe 170, 160.
Yeah. I'm kind of on that boat too. I actually would be comfortable being like 160.
160 is good.
But I've been to 165, but not in a healthy way.
Okay.
And I think that's why I'm also really afraid to like gain weight, because I haven't done it in a healthy way where it's like muscle weight going on and it's just like mess. And that felt really hard to lose. Like, I think not really hard, but like there is, I don't want to sound like I'm fat phobic, but like mentally I knew that it wasn't healthy weight that I was gaining, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm just happy. Like I was just eating and like super confused at that time in my life. And so I think what was really hard was the mental, like losing the weight. I had to diet obviously, but like mentally waking up every day and being like, oh my God, I'm still fat. Like, oh, I'm still this, or I'm still like, this is not supposed to be here. My boobs were not like this, or like, you know, like stuff like that. I think that was what was more taxing.
I mean, I guess technically, and I'm not putting this on you, but like, not wanting to get fat is a symptom of fat phobia, technically, if you want to be real. But it's like, is there like a, I mean, to be fair, let's just preface this with this. We're speaking from a place of like privilege, because neither of us are out of shape. Like there are literally out of shape people who like really, really struggle with their weight, and not just because they overeat or undereat, because they have health conditions or whatever.
Right.
Just putting that out there, save you emails.
Yeah. So I guess if I could even reword that, it's not so much like I don't want to be fat or anything like that. I think it just came down to like I didn't want to continue the unhealthy habits that I was doing that was contributing to the weight gain. Because clearly I said I want to be 160 again, but in a healthy way. Because before I was just like going to Aldi and buying like a bunch of banana nut muffins, eating all of them in the same day. Like I would eat 8 of them in the same day, and then I would.
How big were they?
They were the big ones. They were like this big.
Yeah, they have like 400 calories in each of those.
I'm sure they did. I was eating a lot. I
love banana nut muffins for breakfast.
Yeah, but you see, like I could do that sometimes. But like even when I was working with the trainer and he like had me cut on purpose, like because he's like, yeah, like you're not what they call like skinny fat, which is like you're like when someone's small but like they're not in shape. And so he was like, you're not skinny fat. He's like, but I want to cut the weight that you do have, because you're saying that you want a smaller waist. So like you need to eat this, you need to cut that. And then when I did that, he's like, okay, so now we're going to build muscle. So you need to start eating more now. So I'm going to change your diet. And I was like, okay. And I didn't follow the diet. And he's like, why are you not doing this? And I was like, because I want to get big. But it was like that trauma that I had that was associated with it. Not necessarily like, oh my God, I can't see 160 on the scale, you know?
Has that been influenced by like social media or things you see in like other forms of media, like TV and like, you know, whatever?
Honestly, no. I think as far as like me wanting to be fit, I think that I have a nice face. And so I think like if I have
it's easy. You got the pretty privilege.
And I think if I had like a body to go with it, like I just feel like I would be
unstoppable.
Yeah. Like I feel like that'd be me turning into a superhero.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say super hoe.
Oh, well.
Well,
we don't need a body for that. We're already there. No, I think it would just be a little bit different. I think I would feel more confident in clothing too. Because there's certain things that I love. Like I see certain like muscular guys like doing poses or like doing stuff, and I'm like, you would look so much sexier if you did it this way, or if you did that. Like, I don't know. I just have like this thing. I think I know how to be naturally sexy. Like, if I can pull it off like this, then I can pull it off with like muscles where I'm like being kind of
sex
slutty.
appeal is a thing. You definitely have.
Yes, there you go. I think I would just increase the sex appeal, and like I would wear more sluttier clothes probably.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have the thing where it's like I care more about looking nice in clothes than I do about looking nice naked.
That's a thing. I believe that's a real thing. Luckily for me, I feel like I can dress, so I feel like I can get away with, like, I know how to be like the skinny cool, like style guy. But there are times where like I will see people like what you're wearing now. Like I wouldn't look sexy in that.
I just started wearing tank tops in public.
I mean, I'll still go out in tank tops in public, but I always like, you see his boobs, like they're like, his pecs are like pecking. If I had pecs that protruded, then I would feel more comfortable. But I'm just like, why am I out here looking like a surfboard?
I just like started talking myself into doing that because I mean, I do like my titties. I do.
I know. I grabbed them.
Wearing tank tops for me is like so revealing.
Really? I always feel like it's the men's bra. I love wearing tank tops.
Really? Yeah, I never had that feeling about it. I always felt like everybody's gonna see my skin and bones.
You don't wear it under like t-shirts and stuff?
No.
Oh my God, I wear them all the time.
No. And they say it helps, like, because I sweat a lot. They say you should wear tank tops for sweating, but like,
I wear it because I feel like it keeps my shape.
it does suck you in nice if you get a real good one.
Okay, I don't need anything sucked in. Okay, let's start there.
I do, because I have a belly. I like my belly, but I don't want it protruding.
You're getting like, not like a dad bod, but you're getting like a.
I'm okay with a dad bod.
No, but you don't have a dad. Like, to me, a dad bod is someone who like used to work out all the time and he doesn't work out anymore because he's too busy being a dad.
But he still got the shape.
Like, you don't have that. You have like. To me, you're looking like a grown man now. Like, you have a grown man's body. I think that's another reason why I want to gain weight too and stuff like that, is because I feel like this was cute when we were 19 and 21, but now it's like I'm hooking up with older guys, who are like in their 40s or like in their late 30s, and it's like I'm not 20. Like, I want to look like a man, like I'm not 21 anymore. Yeah. So I think that's what it is. Like, I appreciate still looking and feeling as good as I do at our age, like to still feel like I'm 19.
Yeah.
But I'm just not there mentally.
I mean, to that point, sometimes, like, even as much as I wanted to change my body when I was younger, I look at my older pictures and I'm like, oh, you were actually kind of hot. Like, I have that reverence.
You didn't know that you were hot before?
No.
You crazy.
No, I never felt it. And sometimes I'm like, damn, I should have used my twink body a little more. Like, I could have got passed around.
The only regret that I have is that I wish I wasn't so afraid to be with older guys when I was younger.
Okay.
Like, when I was 21, 22, and like people in their 30s were hitting me up, because, listen, older men will. Can we talk graphic on here? Is that like
you can say what you want.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I feel like we're on like ABC or something.
In comparison to my other podcast, this is PG-13.
That's why I'm like, I don't know what I can say. Older men will let you like fuck them. Like, they know what they want. They know what feels good. They know how to make you feel good. They're flexible. Like, they got some experience. And I've learned a lot, I think, from being with older guys, like how to deal with when I'm with someone who's a little bit younger. And then they're always like, oh, that was so good. And I'm just like, Grandpa taught me that. Grandpa. So but even then, like, they're like, I think it's super sexy, and I almost like aspire to be that way. I won't say the name, but you know who it is. Someone who's a little bit famous. His husband.
You've already said too much.
They're in an open relationship, okay? So I didn't home wreck. But like, I look at them being in their 50s, and like, they're so fit, they're so muscular, and I'm like, fuck, like, I want to look like this when I'm that age.
Yeah, I want to be hot when I'm older, for sure. And that's part of the reason why I work out is for vanity, so I can feel better about myself, just to be honest. But the other part is like I'm fully aware that if I continue to work out now when I'm younger, it's not going to be so hard for me to do it when I'm older, and I can stay in shape and I can still be the hot old gay down at the club looking for the 25-year-olds, you know what I'm saying, dipping it and zooming it, you know.
Ooh, wait, oh my God, this is gonna change it to such a different topic because you just made me think, like, when you get older, do you think that you're gonna...
I don't know, I'm wondering, like, am I gonna be the old gay in the club looking for the young tenderonis?
Yeah, you're just gonna be standing there in the corner with your drink and your big ass arms.
I don't know, but even now, like, I don't like people who are younger than me. So
I don't like people who are younger than me now. I know, I'm almost thinking, like, what am I gonna do when I get 40? Like, fucking date 60-year-olds? Like, what?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting to think about. But I mean,
hopefully we're not single at that. Let me just say this: I don't want to be single when I'm that old. I want to at least be like married or something.
In your 40s, you wouldn't want to be single?
No, I want to be married. I'm ready to be married now.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I don't care.
Well,
we've discussed.
Yeah,
I don't care. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, in terms of like we spoke about. You said something about comparing. Like, I don't really compare my body to other people, and I don't really look at other people's bodies. And I'm like, well, sometimes I'll look at somebody's body and I'm like, that's cute. Like, I like that, right? But I don't look at it from a standpoint of like, I envy that. That's exactly what I want, because a lot of times, like, everybody has different body chemistry. Everybody has different genetics. And that's another thing people don't talk about. Like, they tell you to go to the gym. They tell you to do all these type of things. But genetics plays a big factor in how you're able to gain or lose weight, build muscle, or et cetera, et
and it's
cetera.
not that you can't do it. It's just that it'll take more
work, more effort. And a lot of these people be on drugs. And that's another thing that you need to keep in mind when you're looking at these.
And that's why there's so many muscle bottoms.
You have to be mindful when you're looking at all these perfect bodies on Instagram. Like, everybody's not what they call natty. Like, these people are shooting themselves up to look the way they look sometimes. So you can't, it's just kind of like comparing yourself to people who have a whole bunch of money. You don't know what they're doing to get that money. You don't want to envy somebody's life. So I definitely have over time learned to like not even almost take myself down that road, because you compare yourself to other people and you're never going to be satisfied ever. I
think the only comparisons that I do is more so kind of like beating myself up, because whenever I see someone, I'm like, you could look like this. Like, why aren't you doing
if you
something
just put in the work?
I know.
Right. Yeah.
Also, can we mention that it's a lot of what you eat? It's not just going to the gym.
90% of what you eat.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not a good cook, and I don't cook often, and like I'm very like much so. I mean, yesterday you seen how I eat.
Big bag, big bag.
And it's so much. It is. I think that's more work than anything. Yeah. Like, my dream is to have a husband that we work out together sometimes.
And he does all the cooking.
But he does all the cooking. Yeah. Literally all the cooking. Like,
just feed me.
And I know that there's a guy out there who can cook very well. I was with him.
I would love that as well, because like, I prepare all my meals. I really don't eat out that much. I meal prep everything. But I'm gonna be honest, food is expensive. And so like, sometimes if I like have
to send you this video that I found where someone was like, food is expensive, and then it gave like a whole grocery list of like how often to buy stuff and like when to buy it. I'll send it to you. It's a reel that I seen from this fitness person.
If I'm doing other stuff during that week, I'm gonna end up buying less groceries, and that's gonna make me lose weight because I'm gonna be eating less. Like, in order for me to gain what I need to gain, I need to hit a certain caloric intake every day, and like, I'm not able to do that all the time. Yeah, because the rent is due. If rent is due at the same time I need to go grocery shopping, I hate when that happens, by the way. Yeah. I'm not going to buy as many groceries.
Fair. You got to do what you got to do.
It just is what it is. So I think a lot of that is definitely 90. I think most of it is food. And the type of food too. Because like, even people who try to gain weight, you can eat whatever you want, but you're going to get sloppy if you eat the wrong stuff. That's what I was going to say.
You're going to get like that skinny fat.
And you're gonna and you're not working out, you're not gonna gain any muscle, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not innocent in that, because I don't eat terrible, but I pretty much eat the same thing every day, to be honest though. Chicken, rice, broccoli, mashed potatoes,
Burgers.
that type of stuff. Burgers,
Honey
I don't really
buns.
eat. You think I
Little
eat like
Debbie.
he thinks I
Pop-Tarts.
eat like burgers and like honey buns all the time. Those are really treats for me. Like, and I don't really set them aside as treats because I don't deprive myself of anything. But they are really just like things I do on a whim. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the next thing. So, what positive thoughts do you have to how do I say this? How do you reinforce positive thoughts to yourself about your body so that you're not like spiraling?
I don't really like say like you're good the way that you are. Like I don't do that. I just feel like I just, again, it's accountability thing for me. So every time I look at someone and I see their body and I like it stays on my mind, I'm always like, well, you're not doing anything to change it, so don't feel any way about it. If you aren't changing it, then you don't hate it that much, and then I move on.
For me, I'm just always like, well, you used to be skinnier. I have to remind
Oh,
myself
so you
that.
have, okay, so there's like an actual conversation there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like, you used to be skinnier. Be happy where you are. Because it goes
That's
back to that
fair.
thing that I was saying earlier. Like every time, and that's the thing about having like body dysmorphic thoughts is like every time you get somewhere, you're never going to be satisfied with it because the mental is still fucked up. Like you're still not.
I do have a dream body though in mind where I feel like once I get there, I will just do, I think my struggle is getting into that routine and like staying there because I'm okay with staying there. Like I'm not like, I want to get bigger, I want to do this or I want to do that. Once I look a certain type of way, I'm not moving from that space.
Excuse me. I've gotten there too. Like I've gotten up to like 180 like 1 pounds. I was like, I like it here. And then I fell off the bandwagon because I got comfortable. I was like, oh, I'm here now.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, it's hard maintaining that much weight. And by the way, that was overweight. Like if I went to a doctor, they would tell me you need to lose weight. I'm technically overweight now.
Oh, really?
Height. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't feel it.
Does anyone ever feel overweight? I mean, look at my 600-pound life.
No, they know they're overweight.
Yeah, but remember that one episode where she was like, bitch, you can't even see your legs. And then the other girl was like,
those
you
two
can't even
sisters, they were
yeah.
roasting each other. Yeah, I mean, another thing I do is sometimes is I bully myself too. I know it's pretty
I
dramatic.
only bully myself when I'm at the gym and I don't want to do something and I'm like, you can do another rep. That's the only time that I ever like.
I mean, I feel like that's fair. You definitely have to bully yourself. I have to bully myself to get to the gym.
Sometimes I just won't go.
I mean, that's real, but it's like,
But if I don't, then I make sure that I do like, I mean, this is kind of like a cop out, but like I'll make sure I take the stairs at work, or I'll make sure like if they need help with moving stuff, like I'll volunteer. So like I'm at least being active and using my muscles and picking shit up.
For me, it's like, and I've learned this on TikTok. Somebody made a TikTok about it. The girl, she was like, your future self is gonna thank you for doing it when you were supposed to.
Yeah.
That's the way I bully myself into like going to the gym sometimes. I'm like, okay, you'll be happy if you go today because it will add to your progress.
Yeah. That's fair. I like that. I'm going to think of that. I'm going to use that when I start eating.
Mentally though, how does having these body image clashes within yourself like affect you on the day-to-day?
Like I said, it's sort of like the whole body shaming thing is very new for me now in my adult life because I didn't experience it. But I think in general, just us as gay men, it can be very superficial, and there can be a lot of emphasis just on like the sex appeal and like a fetish or like whatever it is that pertains specifically to your body type and our skin tone or whatever it is. And so I think it's new for me because I didn't really experience that when I was younger. Like no one ever said like, oh, you're too skinny or this or that, where now like I've gone like to places where people will approach me, not even me going up to them and being like, oh, hey, what's up? They'll come up to me be like, you're so sexy, but you're so skinny. And I'm just like, I didn't say I wanted you anyway. You know, like I've been in that situation and it's never made me feel bad where like I go home and I'm like, oh, you're so skinny. Like,
Yeah.
But it's definitely made me uncomfortable because like I don't really see the need for the comments. Like on my birthday, there was someone that messaged me and she was like skinny, and like I kind of just popped off on her because she was trans, and I felt like you of all people should know what it feels like to have like your body attacked or to feel like uncomfortable. And so like you don't know if I feel comfortable being skinny or not. So it felt like if anything you should be on my side. You know what I mean?
I definitely experienced that too, where people will they think it's a compliment, and it's like maybe it's a compliment to you, or it would be a compliment to you, but you don't know what somebody's going through mentally. Like this is I try my best, and I'm really good at it. Like I really don't comment on people's bodies specifically. Like if I see somebody, I'm like, oh, you look good, and I leave it there. I'm like, oh, you look skinny today, or oh, you look a little juicy right now. Like that's not like, you don't know what somebody wants to hear. And definitely like a lot of people sometimes like if somebody tells me, oh, you look big, I'm like, that's a compliment for me, right? Like that's fine. You can say that. You can tell me I look big anytime you want, right? But like
big feels aggressive. I would tell you like thick.
Big is fine. I'm telling you, big is fine. You call me big all the time, girl.
I used to call you big, but that was when you were like really gaining weight. When you were like because it was so different for me though. Because like I'm used to seeing you so skinny, and when you started like gaining weight, then I'd be like, oh, you're big, like because I was used to seeing you at 115, and now you're talking about you 180. So that was the only reason why. And I'm sure the same thing. You're gonna end up saying the same thing to me when I
won't.
He will, because we have that type of relationship.
But I know that you want to be muscular, so if I see you getting more muscular, I'd be like, you are getting very muscular. And
then I'd be like, so you're saying I'm getting big? And then we'll laugh about it, and he'll be like, well, yes. So
I really would like to be like 185 though, if I'm being honest. So if I can gain,
I feel like that's going to be you in your 30s though. I don't know that that's going to be you right now.
And that's another thing, like when I talk about like mentally, how does it affect you? Trying to force my body to do something that is not naturally doing is mentally stressful.
I can imagine. I have a really big appetite, as you saw yesterday, so I can really down food. Eating 5 meals a day is not hard for me.
Okay.
I choose to not do it. But I don't ever, like, I'm not starving myself either. Like, I'm not, like, going to bed like, well, we're choosing sleep tonight. I'm
gonna chew on my dreams.
Yeah, it's never like that. But I think it's just the discipline that goes into, like, preparing food. Like, that's where the mental stress comes for me, where it's like physically getting myself to do the shit. Eating it, I'll do it.
I actually think that would make your goals easier if you cooked your own food.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm difficult and I'm backwards, because the other day I saw someone get in the elevator at work and he had like a lunch, a lunch bag. And I just thought to myself, like, wow, you're so immature. You don't even have a lunch bag. You don't even bring a lunch. Sometimes you don't even eat lunch at work. Like,
yeah,
why are you still eating Chipotle? Like, it was just very much like a thought in my mind, and I kind of like hated him for a second, because he reflected like the fact that I don't come home and have a routine. Have you seen that guy who is like life as a 28-year-old or 29-year-old, and he shows like when he wakes up and he goes to work, and again he gets home, unpacks, wash the dishes? Like, have you seen that?
I've seen a million of those people who do those videos,
but not like one that's like, oh, I'm going to I'm gonna go to a day with me at Target. Like, not like that. This guy's like known for like people saying like his life is horrible because of his routine.
Is he white?
Yeah,
I probably have seen him.
And he has a dog.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so like that type of routine, that doesn't excite me, and I don't think I'll ever be that type of person. But I do think that I should have a bedtime. I do think that I should have some sort of, like, I can't even commit to putting my keys in that basket when I get home. I'll get home sometimes and go straight to the kitchen because I want to put something on the thing, and I'll leave them there. And then I'll go down later on, like, looking for the keys, and I'm like, okay, well, if they're not there, then they're in the kitchen. Like, right now, I know my keys are in the bathroom.
I have a routine, but I'm not, like, really anal. Like, I
just seen what you did.
Like, there are things that I do every day, like, I wake up. I developed a coffee habit. We should have talked about that on the adulthood episode, but, like, I'm into coffee. But, like,
you're really going down that path of like, I'm older, so this is what I'm supposed to do, and you're actually enjoying it.
I enjoy like pretending to be like an old lady with a routine. Like I enjoy it. Like it's fun for me. Like I like make my coffee. I go sit out on the patio, and I have a hammock chair, so I like rock and I do all that. So I fix my smoothie. I'm
more that
breakfast.
Person. I'm that person. I'm more like wake up, make a nice fresh smoothie, and then like go be a hoe. You know, I'm still there.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
But like I definitely have my routine. Like every Sunday, I meal prep for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, I like when I come home, I pack my lunch for the next day, and then I go to the gym, and then I come home from the gym, and I make a smoothie. Like I have that type of routine. But in terms of like stuff around the house, like my routine is to like take everything off at the door, and like by the end of the week, I have clothes laying all around the house. Like
great. I threw all of mine in the closet before you got here.
Yeah. Oh, when people come over, I'm like definitely like in the closet cleaning up everything else. That's part of being an adult. But like, in terms of like the way I see my body, like I definitely think it's changing now because I'm learning. The older I get, and I think it's the Saturn return thing. And I know we're gonna talk about that.
Mine starts today.
Congratulations, you're getting old. He doesn't like that word.
No, I don't think old is a good adjective. It's not endearing. There's nothing like exciting about it. I think
but that's because society has made it a negative thing.
No, I mean the definition of old is not good.
What's the definition of old?
I don't know specifically, but I know it's like it's like if you think
of older age.
No, I don't think that we're getting. I think that's the problem. I don't think that we are getting old. Like to me, I remember when we were younger. Like I will never forget this. I was 23 and my partner at the time, his cousin was turning 28, and I remember feeling so bad for her. I was just like, wow, you're so old. I feel so bad for you. Like, you're so lame. And then when I got to 28 and I was like, it was just that bitch. She was lame. Like, I still got the juice. You know, like, I was like laying out in the beach in fucking Fiji. I was like, girl, I'm cool. We ain't the same 28. And I think the same thing with us. We're still creative. We're still like, I feel like we're giving these younger kids shit to copy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that we've fallen off in that sense. So I don't like to say that I'm getting older. I think I'm just having more anniversaries.
I just would encourage you to live in reality. You are getting older. And if you're lucky enough, you will get older.
Well, we are getting older, but I just don't like the word old. I like to say, like I would appreciate it if you said you're aging up.
Semantics. We're going to play word Olympics to help you feel better. That's fine.
Yeah, we're definitely aging up.
And we are
up there in age.
I mean,
not up there, but we're going up. The elevator's going up.
I don't have that attachment to old. Like, I don't think of it that way. Mm-hmm. Like, I think of old as like honor. And people in my family
That's because you're old school.
People in my family die early.
Look at how we talked about body image. Now we're talking about you.
But but being old has to do with the body image too, because people get concerned about wrinkles. They get concerned about like saggy skin. They get concerned about all types of things. And
baby, this face, I don't care if I have to go into debt or take out loans or sell crack. I will get a facelift. That I'm telling you, that's happening. If it comes down to that, no.
I'm not against getting any work done if I get older, but it will have to be when I get older. You ever see those like people who like those older people who get like work done on Instagram and they do the before and after? They be looking fire.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's gonna be me when I turn like 60. I might get a face.
That's what I'm saying. I'm 100% game to keep doing that.
But that's fine. But there is an obsession with youth that I think this country in particular needs to deal with. Because if you think about like Asian cultures, they like celebrate their older people. Mm-hmm. And it's not a bad thing.
Well, I think it's because America is rooted in pop culture. And so I think we've judged society based off of the lifespan of like pop stars and the way that they look, and how like if you weren't young and beautiful anymore, then you weren't marketable, and like all those things. And I think that's really where that comes from.
Okay. Versus
like other cultures, like you're saying, where like Asian or like even in Italy, like their elders are taken care of and they're honored and they're respected. Some of the countries that I've been to, they're just like our older people are like we have to ask for their blessings, and we like it's very like that. Where over here it's like hit the dryer, you're washed.
Well, to wrap up, like, what do you think we can do better as individuals, as people, to like embrace the quote flaws that we have, so that we are not like so down on ourselves about our body image?
I don't know that I have the answer for that. I don't think anyone does. I think the only thing that I would say for myself is be patient, for sure. And I think that's kind of like will encompass everything. If you're patient with yourself, if you're patient with your journey, your fitness journey, and recognizing that it is a lifestyle change. And so it is not gonna
a full lifestyle.
Yeah. It's not gonna just be like this, like, oh, I like to go sometimes, or, like this is like a full on commitment. Like you're altering your lifestyle. Yeah. Like, I think that's what it comes down to. And for me, I think I just haven't had the discipline because I've been so committed to other things, which is like work or travel or like dating, and that I haven't actually done that. But I think as I'm getting older and my Saturn return is now here, it's been more on my mind, because I'm like, this is something that you really actually want, and you're just procrastinating because you want to be lazy.
Yeah.
And
laziness is a big factor.
Yeah. So patience, and don't be lazy.
For me, like in terms of like getting older, I'm caring less about being so superficial about it. Like, I want to obviously look hot. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because when you look good, you feel good. But I care less about like anybody else thinking. I'm starting to care less, because sometimes if I'm in a room with a bunch of big guys, I immediately feel like a little twink, and that doesn't make me feel good,
Well, we're opposite, because I don't care, and if I go into a room full of muscular guys, I know I'm gonna fuck one of them,
because they like skinny people.
To me, honestly, it's so funny, because like there's been times where there's like a bunch of muscle bottoms, and like, sometimes they don't care. Sometimes they just want dick, but sometimes they could be a little bit like, no, I want to, like I want a daddy, all that shit.
I love a muscle bottom, by the way. I do.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a muscle bottom?
I love muscle bottoms.
Oh, you love muscle bottoms. Yeah. And like, I would say at least 8 out of 10 times, I'm not gonna honk my horn that, but like at least 8 out of 10 times, like they'll choose me, and I'm like, you did all them push-ups, and he still picked me just because I'm funny. So like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so interesting. Like even when I was in Bali, those two like guys, like, I'm telling on myself. Anyways, they were a couple, and they were both pretty fit and muscular, and like, I mean, you see me. And they were both like, yeah, top us. And I was just like.
But that goes into like the body image thing. Like most people will see somebody and be like, oh, they're attractive, and like not care about the body and the package that it comes in. It's like, I know you're hot, fuck me.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Great. So well, you heard it here first.
I think that's a good way to wrap that up. Just embrace
Be
whatever
confident,
flaws you
no matter
think you
how
have.
you are. Yeah, if you're confident exudes, and you're sexy.
Yeah, because nobody really cares at the end of the day.
I wanted to say something, but I'll tell you after the podcast.
Well, I want to hear this, so thank you guys so much for listening to this episode about us talking about our bodies.
Period.
Make sure you come back next week for more Something in Common. Bye.